Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Tiffany, and today I'm going to be reviewing the ever so popular JACLYN Hill and MORPHE palettes. I know this is unrelated to the video, but my hair is so big and frizzy today and I am here for it. Normally by the time my hair gets this big and frizzy, I wash it. But I'm starting to think that's a mistake. I am low-key here for the extra volume and frizz. As you can see, my base is done. I have on my foundation, I have everything set, I have my brows on. So we're gonna jump right into the eyeshadow look. To be perfectly honest, I have no idea what eyeshadow look I'm going to do today. So I'm just gonna go with it in hopes that the palettes will inspire me. Dang it, dang it, dang it. I have all four. I have all four palettes here. We have the Ring the Alarm palette, the Bling, whoop, the other one didn't have that plastic. We have the Bling Boss palette, which I think I may use this one today because I'm feeling these purple and berry shades. I don't have a palette that is catered to purple and berry shades, so this might be the one. We have the Armed and Gorgeous palette. And last but certainly not least, the Dark Magic palette. This one is also calling my name too. I was debating on whether or not I was going to swatch every palette. I'm leaning more towards no because there are a ton of swatch videos out on these palettes. JACLYN Hill has one herself, and I figured you guys would want to see how the eyeshadows apply. That is more important than how they swatch, in my opinion. Before we start adding any eyeshadow, I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids with concealer. I am using the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer to prime, but you should use whatever concealer you have. BRB, have to get a hair clip for the wig. Clip this out of my face, like so. Now we're ready to roll. So I'm just going to pat the concealer in. I'm gonna do this until it's pretty much dried down. Yo, what keeps itching my face? I'm gonna go ahead and lay a little bit of setting powder down as well, just in case we get any fallout. Also gonna go ahead and bake my nose. I hope this doesn't dry me out too much because you all know I do not like to bake under my eyes, but I don't want to risk the chance that there'll be some fallout and I'll ruin my base. The first color I'm going to go in with on my crease is from the Dark Magic palette, and this is the color Shh. Now in my opinion, this is a tricky color because a lot of times on brown skin, these colors can just look really gray or really ashy. And I do want this to look kind of gray, but when I apply my other colors, I don't want it to all, you know, blend in together to one big gray mess. So we shall see. I'm just applying that in the upper crease area. So far, I think that's looking pretty good. It is showing up on my skin tone at least, which I thought was going to be the biggest issue because, again, it's not a very dark transition color. But this is just going to help all of the colors that I apply later blend a lot better. The next color I'm going to use is also from the Dark Magic palette. This is the color Busted. I'm going for drama today. Can you tell? I'm going to place this right below the first color we laid down. So far, I think the pigmentation is pretty good. This shade is showing up pretty well. And they do feel pretty easy to blend as well. So I'm just going to go back and forth, kind of packing the color on and then blending it out. Now I'm going to pick up my first brush and just go ahead and blend over the edges. I haven't added any additional eyeshadow, but if you need to, you can. Okay, so far guys, I have nothing bad to say about this palette. I mean, look at the pigment. It looks pretty good. It's blending well. The shadows are nice and buttery and smooth, and there's no fallout. I'm sticking with the Dark Magic palette, and for the next color, I'm going to go in with Inside Job. I'm gonna place this right below the blue. Hopefully this is dark enough to actually show up because the blue is pretty dark. This seems to be deepening it up some. If it's not enough, I can always go in with black, but it's definitely deepening up the crease. And this is what you want to do. You want to go in from light to dark so you get the nice gradient effect in your eyeshadows. So I'm just kind of placing this down where I want it, and then I will go back in and blend. And I'm going to pick up the brush I used to apply Bust It and blend around the edges. We've got a nice blend going on. Now it's time to cut that crease. Yes, I have to be that dramatic because cutting the crease is hard. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of patience, but we're gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up some concealer on a brush, a flat brush. I'm going to place it here on my lid. Then I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna use this little line here as the guideline to cut my crease. Now that the crease is sliced and diced, it's time to go in with our lid color. I'm going to first go in with Power Cut, still using the Dark Magic palette. I'm gonna put this right here in the lid. I'm not using any Fix Plus with this yet, but I think it's gonna need some. Spraying my brush with some Fix Plus. Hi.
Hello.
How's your meeting?
Good.
You turn around staring at me.
I'm looking at your makeup.
Why are you looking at it?
I'm seeing it.
Why are you saying it?
Why can't I see it?
Because it's not done yet.
I know.
For the second lid color, I'm going to go in with Diversion. I'm going to place this right here on the outer part of the lid. Hopefully that gives it a little bit of dimension. To brighten up the inner part of the eye right here, I'm gonna go in with this really light frosty shade from the Armed and Gorgeous palette called VIP. To really turn this up a notch, I'm gonna go ahead and add Temptress to the outer V. Next, I'm gonna line my eyes using NYX Matte Black Liquid Liner. And I'm not gonna do a wing. I'm going to start really thin towards the inner corner of the eye and then thicken up the liner as we get closer to the outer edge. This is gonna give me a nice, dramatic cat eye shape. For brow bone highlight, I'm gonna dip back into the Armed and Gorgeous palette and pick up Guilt Trip. I decided to do lashes off camera. I'm wearing Lion-hearted lashes by Cakefacebeauty. Time to finish up the rest of this face. I'm gonna dust away the loose powder. I'm gonna go ahead and add all of the colors that we used on the lid to the bottom lash line. I'm gonna add a black pencil to my waterline. Now that the eyes are complete, I'm gonna go ahead and bronze up my skin. I'm using the Bobbie Brown bronzing powder in Deep 4. For blush, I'm gonna go in with this one from Tarte. Before I highlight, I'm gonna go in and set my face with this setting spray from Morphe. Before it dries down completely, I'm going to highlight with Precious Petals by Wet n Wild. I'm gonna line my lips with Mason Matte Lip Liner from NYX. I'm gonna go in with Soul Liquid Lipstick by Colored Rain. I'm gonna go in with a second liner. This one is a little bit darker and it's Expresso from NYX. Using a darker liner second will help contour the lips. Okay, we are all done, guys, and this is the final result. My final thoughts about the JACLYN Hill and Morphe palette is that I really like it. I really do. I mainly use the Dark Magic palette because I remember her saying that palette was the most hardest to formulate because of the colors, and I use a number of different colors in that palette, maybe 5 or 6, and I am impressed. The blend was really good, the pigmentation was there, and there was little to no fallout. Now, I did have some fallout under my eyes, but that's normal, and that's normally why I like to do my eyeshadow first before my foundation, but today we did it in reverse, so that is why I suffered from a little bit of fallout on my concealer, but I just cleaned that up with a little bit of setting powder and I was good to go. Now, do I think you need all 4 of these palettes? No. I myself contemplated whether or not I was going to get all 4, but I decided to go ahead and purchase them all because I knew that I would use them here on my channel, and if you guys had specific palettes that you wanted to see certain looks from, then I would have all of those palettes and I could do those looks for you. If you're not a makeup enthusiast or a huge fan of JACLYN Hill, I would say that you don't need all 4 palettes. My top 2 favorites of the entire collection were the Dark Magic palette and the Boss Bling palette, only because I don't have a lot of these colors in my collection. If you already have these colors in your collection, you can go ahead and skip these 2 and maybe purchase the others, but these were the most unique to me because the Ring the Alarm palette and the Armed and Gorgeous palette were really warm colors, and I have a ton of warm shadows in my collection, so if I had to choose, I would definitely skip those 2 and purchase these 2. I didn't get to use Boss Bling at all in this video, and I'm sad about that. I think I'm gonna do a tutorial with this one next because these berries are literally calling my name. I do think these palettes are worth the 15 bucks individually because I mentioned I think that they are great quality for the price. If you have JACLYN Hill and Morphe's first palette, you also may want to consider picking and choosing which palettes you get instead of purchasing the bundle because there are similar shades between the 2 palettes. Another reason I decided to pick up all 4 palettes, even though some of the shades from her first palette and this were similar, is because these are a lot easier to travel with. I've tried to travel with her first palette and it was more difficult just because it's a lot bigger. These smaller palettes are definitely going to be great for traveling. Okay guys, that wraps up another video. I hope you enjoyed it. You know what to do if you did. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, please check the description box for a list of all the products I used in this video. Be sure to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every single time I upload a video, which is normally twice a week. Don't forget to follow me on all of my socials, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter. I will link all of those in the description box below. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and until my next one, bye.